Good morning, Instagram and Facebook. I decided I want to see more masks on people online. We're safe in our homes. I don't actually need this right now, but I want to see more masks on social media because you need to wear a mask. It keeps you safe, but more importantly, it keeps me safe, right? Fogs up my glasses, which means it's not done correctly, but that's okay. So let's wear a mask. Let's care together about each other as we talk about uncertainty. What do you think? I'm not even sure these fit right on my face. So just 7 o'clock. Hopefully people are going to start tuning in. We're not breathing through our noses. We're not breathing through our mouths, I should say. We're not breathing through our nose. We're being present with the discomfort and the uncertainty of this time. So there need to be more masks on social media, for sure. All right. Just me, in case you couldn't tell. We're going to talk about uncertainty and discomfort today. I've noticed a pattern of a lot of my clients wanting to control and predict the future in this time that is very unpredictable and very much not in control. It was an illusion all along anyway, right? So let's sit with that for a minute. It's just a little after 7. Have a sip of coffee or tea. Just be present with what is. What are you noticing is feeling unpredictable and uncomfortable for you today or this week? What are you trying to control? Let's notice. Where do you notice that in your body? I switched sides of the room. I don't know if you noticed, but my window is on the other side now. I've switched my room around. Talk about discomfort. Hey, Roxana, good morning. Talk about changes, right? I moved a dresser out and a desk over there, and now I'm back where I have been without having to move all my furniture around every morning. So that's actually kind of nice. I think the lighting is a little better over here. Not sure. My tripod is starting to give up on life, so I might have to get a new tripod. But I'm reading through, I scanned through this for inspiration, Comfortable with Uncertainty. I think there's a lot of discomfort with uncertainty right now. So we're going to look to Pema Chodron for inspiration in the feelings of uncertainty and discomfort. Because I've been blowing minds, no joke, blowing minds of some of my clients this week that they are spiraling into the future, trying to predict it, and they can't. They don't know, but they're really trying. And I commend them for that because that's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of effort. But it's just our minds trying to keep us safe. It's our old lizard brain trying to keep us, hypervigilant and aware and coming up with alternatives and ways we can keep ourselves safe, even though that is an illusion. It's not true. We can't do it. As far as I know. All right, my nose is itchy from my mask. Hey, Lauren. Thanks for joining. So thinking about, it's the title of the book. We're going to read a little section from here. So it's called Comfortable with Uncertainty. And it's like the third chapter, right? So we can try to control the uncontrollable by looking for security and predictability, always hoping to be comfortable and safe. But the truth is that we can never avoid uncertainty. This not knowing is part of the adventure. It's also what makes us afraid, right? Like, whoo, truth. Gosh, she cuts right to it, right? And with the help of these practices, right, which talks about meditation and just noticing our own inner narratives, we will find that tenderness in the sorrow and gratitude, behind the hardness of rage and the shakiness of fear. In loneliness as well as in kindness, we can uncover the soft spot of basic goodness. Rather than this I who wants to find security, who wants something to hold on to, will finally learn to grow up. So I love all of her work. If I could just spend all day reading it, I probably would, right? So much inspiration, so much calm. And she just calls us right out, right? And so when we think about a we, hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us, right? When we think about a we, it's so much easier when we're not trying to bring our own internal sort of needs, right? And we can collectively address each other's needs. So I was wearing a mask at the beginning of my meditation a few minutes ago. We need to have more mask wearing. I can't believe that's a political statement. But also being uncomfortable with the uncertainty. I'm just going to wear a mask. And you guys are going to do what you're going to do, but I'm going to try and keep myself and my family safe. And it's for me and it's for you. And I don't think that's a political act, though it feels like it might be, right? But there's uncertainty in everything. There always was, just a lot more in our face. And some of the inequities around our safety have been very, very much peeled back. And it's okay, because it just makes us more uncomfortable, which means we're going to do better and we're going to make changes. So let's sit with that. Sit with that discomfort. Sit with that uncertainty, and let's just breathe, connecting to the floor. I'm just noticing your uncertainty, right? When we leave our houses every day, there's danger. There always was, to different degrees, right? But now there's a lot more uncertainty. There's a lot more presence and awareness, a lot more shaky ground. That's true. We have to remember what we are in control of versus what we're not. But there's a lot we're not in control of. We can't control other people's feelings. We can try really hard. We can control our own feelings. We can control our own reactions and responses, right? If me wearing a mask upsets you, that's cool. I'm all right. I'll be okay. I'll survive that, right? As long as you're not violent or angry or whatever, right? So sitting with uncertainty helps us sit with discomfort, which also helps us experience our emotions. So where does that sit for you? Where do you notice that in your body? Can you leave a comment, right? Or is there like a body part, right? Because there's like always arms and things in the emoji category. So if there's a body part you want to share, go for it. Heart, chest, or you can leave a comment. Right? Uncertainty for me, stomach. Oof, so much. It just like lights right up, right? That's for me anyway. When we're uncertain, we start to try and lash out or control things externally when really we need to be going inside, right? What are we in control of in this moment? We can work on our thoughts, we can work on our feelings, and certainly our actions, right? Or we can have terrible thoughts and feel awful. It doesn't mean we have to act on any of it, right? That externalizing of it doesn't have to happen. When we're feeling unpredictable, anger happens, right? That's what we're seeing. Anger, frustration, right? We try to take it out on people and pass it on. But we can just go inside and remember that it's all right and we're going to figure it out. And then we're in this together. There might be some disjointed parts of society, but I'm in this with you at the very least. So let's just breathe and try to feel that connection and remember that we're not in control. And then we never were. That was an illusion. Because some people didn't even have the privilege to access, right? It was always an illusion. And so we can be there with it. And remember what we're in control of, ourselves. And we can inspire others to remember this. And notice how that shifts when you start to do that. When you start to breathe and go inside and notice your own thoughts, notice your feelings, and notice the actions that you want to take. There's so much comfort there. There can be comfort there. It could be really uncertain and scary at first, for sure. And just remember that the ground still has got you, right? We can find balance through grounding and remembering what we're in control of and what we are not. Remember that there's always uncertainty, and there always has been. And think about the job market, right? A lot of people are out of work right now, and a lot of people are still working. But there's uncertainty there, right? I think everyone's collectively holding our breaths to see what happens. All we have is the present. So let's be in it. Let's be here together. Sitting in our discomfort and breathing and remembering that we're human and we're going to mess it up and we are not in control, but we're going to do our best. We have to act on the information that we have. So how do you get uncomfortable? How do you get comfortable with uncertainty? Is this practice that we're doing, right? We're questioning our thoughts and thinking about how we can take care of ourselves and others in this hectic collective time that we're having. Have a sip of coffee, have a sip of tea. It means we actually have to take care of ourselves. It means we have to remind ourselves that we're not in control. We have to think externally and internally, right? Like, how is our outward experience happening and what's our inward experience? And being present with that. Being mindful. I did a talk on Monday about white privilege and using mindfulness as a tool to realize the layers of privilege that we have. And obviously, I only know my own experience. And you know yours. So as we breathe and try to connect, we remember that everyone's experiences are different and that there's a lot of uncertainty in that, which can cause some fear about differences and separateness. But we're all going through this together. As the disparities start to, open up and become aware, it's new information we can take in to become more comfortable with the uncertainty of knowing the challenges of others. My kid's talking downstairs very loudly. It's so funny. So how do you guys handle discomfort? Anyone have anything they want to share? The numbers have been like going up and down, up and down. Are we breathing? Are we sitting in our own discomfort? What are you noticing? You can leave a comment. You can leave a thumbs up or thumbs down where you're at, right? And just connect to our experience, into our bodies, into our minds, and just be aware. So we're running on autopilot and probably some adrenaline at this point. If we haven't tapped out of that, it's going to be like adrenal fatigue across the country, across the world. So be present with what is and notice the uncertainty Remember, you were never in control. That was always an illusion. And as far as I know, no one can predict the future. There are certainly patterns and astrological signs and trends that we could be aware of, but as far as I know, we can't predict the future. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Yeah, trying to laugh. That's excellent. Thanks, Michelle. Right? We could be present and notice and use the information we have, but also remember that we are not in control. And we have to get comfortable with that. All right. 7:15 according to my clock. We're just out of time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll take any feedback. If you want to send me a message, you can join my Facebook group for free. It is called Break You, but actually I'm going to be changing the name. I have some new stuff I'm going to be rolling out as I sort of change my focus. And unrelated to anything that I generally do, I'm teaching a yoga teacher training on setting boundaries. So if you're a yoga teacher and you're watching, you could check it out on my Instagram profile and or DM me to find out more details about registering for that event, because we all need better boundaries in our lives. That's part of letting go of control and also taking control of what we can, setting boundaries. Maybe we'll do that next week. That sounds good. All right. Now that I've talked myself through that, have an amazing day. Remember to breathe. And check out my Facebook group, Break You. Bye, everybody. Wear a mask. Wear a mask.